How what's up, y'all? It's popping. It's D. About to react to this impressive vid. It's titled Gabrielle Union Dominates Her Husband, Dwayne. Wait. What? Gabby lost her deal to carry her feuds. I don't know what that means. What? Dominates him? Why are we being made aware of this? About what they choose to do in the privacy of their bedroom? Gabby, I'm going to need you to keep some things to yourself, girl. But why are you telling us this? I know it's you. I know it ain't Dwayne telling us. Anyway, let's see what's happening. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive Channel. Gabrielle Union recently did an interview on the Ideal Generation, and it went viral because she actually admitted that she splits her household expenses 50-50 with her husband, Dwayne Wade, and she still feels the pressure.
Oh, wait, sorry, I was talking.
And it went viral because she actually admitted that she splits her household expenses 50-50 with her husband, Dwayne Wade. And she still feels the pressure to work, even though she and Dwayne are supposed to have a lot of money.
I'm curious, at what point did you develop that first sense of security?
I struggle with that. Still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this gorilla on your back that is like, you better work, you better work, you better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat. You gotta work. And
I ain't taking care of nobody but myself, but still.
It's hard. It's hard to let that go. So I'm working on that.
Now, when this part of the interview went viral, it actually created a lot of discourse online. And I will say I was a little surprised that Gabrielle still feels the pressure to financially provide for her family, even though her husband, Dwayne Wade, is supposed to be worth close to $200 million. It's kind of surprising. But then again, I thought to myself, well, just because we think celebrities have money doesn't automatically mean that they have it. Sometimes they might not have liquid cash. Sometimes their money isn't.
She literally just said they're both providing for a lot of people. So it doesn't matter what you're worth. How much money do you have? How much disposable income do you have to constantly be dishing out to several people? I don't understand what's surprising about what she said.
Sometimes they may go through seasons where money is not coming in the same way it used to. Also, some of them blow through money just to keep up appearances and keep up with what everybody else is doing. And Gabrielle and Dwayne do have a Hollywood lifestyle. They have expenses and they have staff that they have to pay. So they could easily run through money if they're not good with it. But then another part of me is thinking, well, $200 million is a lot of money to blow through. And I don't think they're just out here.
That's not... This is very surprising hearing her say this. What you're worth is not how much money you just have on hand. That's not how that works.
Raining their money like that. But then again, I don't know their financial situation. Either way, it came as a surprise, especially to a lot of women, because we couldn't understand why Gabrielle was splitting her expenses 50-50 with somebody who makes way more money than her. And a lot of people couldn't wait to bring up the fact that Gabrielle dealt with a lot in the relationship. I mean, Dwayne Wade had a break baby on her, and also she admitted to eating his groceries. So she's doing all of that just to pay half of the bills, and on top of that, worry and stress about providing for her other family. I mean, that's crazy. And a lot of people were going in on Dwayne Wade as well, and they basically said that he ain't really the husband in the relationship. Gabrielle is. But I found Gabrielle's response to be very interesting. After she got a lot of backlash on social media, she uploaded this video on Instagram and said, I love when he matches my energy 50-50 over here. Now, this could be a way of her defending her relationship, but it sounds to me like she's actually proud to split the bills 50-50. Whereas some women would be completely fine with their rich husband taking care of them, Gabrielle is not one of those women. She's one of those women who wants to have an equal contribution. She wants to be equal to her husband, which nothing is wrong with that, but it wouldn't be a bad idea for her to at least take some of the burden off of herself and allow her husband to handle most of the household expenses. Because clearly she's stressing out over taking care of her other family, so I wonder why she would want to add more to her plate by splitting the bills with her husband. But based off of her response...
I didn't get that she said she was stressed. Did I miss something? She said that she feels the pressure to keep working. Like, pressure doesn't always mean stress, because I could relate to that. I feel pressure to, like, bitch, get up. You You gotta pay this, and that. You gotta get shit done. Like, nah, I can't be laying here too long. I need to get up and do something. But I'm not technically stressed out. I just feel that pressure, which I think can be a good thing. Without it, you get fucking complacent and you just lay around and don't do shit, in my personal opinion. So I don't think there's anything wrong with her having that pressure and feeling the desire to contribute to her marriage 50-50. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel it's so strange when people have opinions on how other people choose to, run the finances in their relationship. Like, what does that have to do with you? Just, okay, you want that. You want somebody to take care of you. You want to sit up with your feet propped up and don't do shit but eat hot Cheetos all day. That's your business and your prerogative. All right, if that's the fuck you want to do, sure, do that. But why are you projecting onto other people and being like, why she paying 50-50 with her husband? Why she ain't letting him pay everything? Because she don't fucking want to. But I don't.
It seems like she's okay with it, and she probably sees it as a flex. I do think Gabrielle does enjoy having some type of financial control, and she wants to be on her husband's level.
I'm gonna wrap more at the end.
And that could be due to her dominant personality.
Mindset.
I think she has a more go-getter, take-charge energy. She's very alpha, whereas Dwayne is more beta, and he's more passive in the relationship. And it seems like he's okay with his woman kind of taking the reins a little bit. And some people see it as a problem because Dwayne has accumulated more money than Gabrielle has. And they feel like he should be helping her. She shouldn't be stressing out about working and finding her next check. I mean, that sounds crazy, right? Once again, we don't know their financial situation.
Exactly.
But if we're going to assume
there's no but, that's money, period.
It would make sense for Dwayne to take on some of that financial burden. And I think most alpha men would actually rise to the occasion and do that. But like I said, Dwayne comes across as a little more beta. He's a little bit more passive, and I think that might be due to his own upbringing. Growing up, his parents weren't really reliable. His father wasn't there. His mother was on drugs. And he was actually being taken care of by his first wife's family. And this was before he made it to the NBA. He relied on his first wife and her family to take care of him because he was looking for that financial and maternal security. And now that he's married to Gabrielle, he's still not really 100% taking care of the finances, even though he's capable of doing so. But I don't think he's the type to really have an urge to step up. I think he's okay with their arrangement, and I think Gabrielle is okay with it. I don't think
there's anything wrong with that. Like, what? If she has the means to contribute, what is the problem? I think it's more weird to have the money to help, but you don't. You just pocket that for yourself. I think that's insanely selfish and strange, especially if he has many other households that he's contributing to. He's trying to take care of this family, this family member. Like he's like helping out a lot of people. For you to just be sitting there with your feet propped up, just collecting your checks and this is my money, I'm putting it in my bank account. You figure out everything. I think that's fucked up. Like I don't think that has nothing to do with being alpha or beta. I just think that's very weird. And she has money. She's an A-list actress. It's not like she's broke. He found her off the street. Like, she's very well established. And we don't know what other investments she has. It's not like acting is her only source of income. I'm sure she has her money in other things, other avenues. So I think it would be even more strange for her to pocket all of the money and not help at all. Oh, because you got more money than me, so you take care of everything. I'm going to just sit here. I don't like that bum female mentality. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I know we in the age of the sprinkle bullshit that people be on, and it's like, if that's what you want to do, I'm not even gonna call it bullshit, because if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. But I start talking shit when I hear women speak like this, because it's like you're trying to put other women down who do have the means to contribute financially. And it's like, if that's how you want to live your life, you live your life that way. You depend on a man 100% to take care of you. And maybe that comes from a scarcity mindset because you don't have the means to really help out like that. So you're looking for that rich savior who's going to take care of everything for you. And if that's what you want to do, cool. But to put other women down and be like, well, you must be with a beta man. That's like, I just think that's fucked up. And that's when I start talking shit. It's like, okay, you want to be a bum. Cool. I was not raised a bum bitch. I've been working my whole life and I like contributing to a relationship. Of course, I'm not going to take care of nobody. 50-50 is the most I will go, okay? But I actually enjoy being able to make my own money and to contribute and help out. I don't want to just sit there and be like, well, you do everything. I'm going to just sit here and collect all my checks and keep them to myself. I think that's so selfish. I don't like that.
about this. Believe it or not, I think Gabrielle chooses to go 50-50 with Dwayne. She's used to being the breadwinner. She's used to having some financial control. In fact, in her previous
There's
marriage,
power in
she
that.
did
I
pay all
personally
of the
believe.
bills. She admitted that she paid all of the bills.
See, I can do that.
And her first marriage was kind of a mess. I mean, she was married to a former NFL player named Chris Howard.
And also,
he cheated
I'm gonna
on
say this
her.
at the end because
She
I
cheated
don't want
on
to keep
him,
pausing.
And she felt okay with cheating because she was the breadwinner.
I don't know.
Well, in our first
I hope I
marriage,
don't forget.
neither one of us felt like the marriage should get in the way of our dating. And
Oh
so
my God.
that said, it was
not
like
identical.
keeping up with
I remember
his
hearing this.
activities. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So I'm paying attention,
that's
but I
what
wanna
you're
write
doing?
this
Oh,
down
you're
so
going
I
to feel
don't
this one.
forget.
And
Okay.
I just felt entitled to it as well. I was paying all the bills. I was working my ass off. And I felt like that's what comes, the spoils of riches.
Yeah.
And like my dad, before me, whoever has the most gets to do whatever the hell they want, is what I thought.
Yes.
And it was just dysfunctional from day one.
Yeah.
The honeymoon period of my divorce from Chris was short-lived, and I did the laundry list of
Damn, I
dumb things
forgot
you
already,
do
Will.
when you want your ex to like you. I invested in a company he started with one of my friends. I paid rent for 6 months on a new home for him and co-signed for a Porsche. Then he abandoned the Porsche at the Burbank airport, and I inherited a bunch of bills and parking tickets. The business failed, so there went that money too. And like my money, I have never seen him again.
Yeah, I didn't let like the marital vows get in the way of my outside dating. A lot of people stop there, and I just, I couldn't. Once I realized how prolific his cheating was, I was like, and now I'm competitive.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, you're going for the whoever's closest to the door.
But
So I'm
I
gonna
love that
go
you
for
take
some-
your own accountability.
No, I was so grimy. It was, I had a problem, but it all comes from self-esteem, and also this idea that a lot of couples have that whoever brings home the most money, is entitled to do whatever the hell they want. Entitled to be disrespectful, entitled to not be loyal, entitled to lie,
Right.
yeah. Because you have the most money.
But you turned out that you were the breadwinner towards the end of that marriage.
Yeah, well, actually from the beginning, yeah, from the
He
very
probably
beginning.
loves that you talk about this.
Or not. Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
So Gabrielle admitted on several different occasions that she was the breadwinner in her first marriage, and she felt entitled to do what she did because, for one, she was retaliating against her ex, but also she saw how her father treated her mother, and she saw the type of control that a person had when they were the breadwinner. And I don't think Gabrielle was willing to let that go, at least not completely, which is probably why she goes 50-50 with her husband, Dwayne, now. And also, I think she low-key likes the competition. I mean, she did a whole Gatorade commercial where she was competing with Dwayne. And it was so ridiculous because Dwayne was one of the top athletes in the NBA. So there's no way she could compete with him on any level.
How is this ridiculous? It's not to be taken seriously.
Idea of it.
Who would you like to trade places with if you could?
Jesus Christ.
My husband.
Really?
So I think a big part of the whole 50-50 conversation is not so much about finances. It's not
No,
so
she
much
actually
about
thinks she
switching
can-
gender roles, but I think it's more about having financial control. And also, I think it's kind of low-key about competitiveness. I think there's an undertone of competitiveness between Gabrielle and her spouse. If they are financially comfortable, she doesn't have to split half of the bills, but she wants to. And that kind of leads me to another conversation about Gabrielle's competitiveness, because I want to delve a little deeper in that. A lot of Gabrielle's competitiveness is rooted in her own insecurity. And she did talk about this in her book, We're Going to Need More Wine. She talked about where her insecurities came from. She talked about
Gab, you
how
gotta
she was
stop telling your
sometimes treated
business,
differently
girl.
from her siblings. She talked about colorism. She talked about racism. She talked about the struggle of being the only black girl in her
I
environment.
want to give an
and how
example
she had to
and tell my
constantly
business, but then I
prove
kind of
herself. She had to
don't.
prove her worth, and she was
Because
constantly
this
looking for
is the fucking consequence of revealing personal things about you. People come back and use it against you and try to act like they understand your psychology and, oh, is she doing this because of this? Because she said this before, so this must mean that she's insecure about da-da-da. I fucking hate when people do that. I hate, because you can be so totally off just because you got the little pieces from this shit that she revealed. You reach in and jump into this other conclusion when it could totally be off. But you think you know just because you know this small detail of her life. Like, I hate when people do that.
And also, she went through a very horrific experience where she was assaulted while working. So even that negatively affected the way that she viewed herself. And even in Hollywood, it was a struggle because
not so
Hollywood
pretty.
is highly
India,
competitive,
Jesus.
especially for
I mean,
black
yeah, me
actors. So she was competing a
I've
lot with
always
her
thought
other
Mila was so
counterparts.
pretty.
And a lot of times, she would get passed up on roles because they were either better or they had a more acceptable look.
But were there other people that you would always audition against?
Yeah, it was always, in the very beginning, it was Melinda Williams. It was Melinda Williams, Bianca Lawson,
Fire.
Taraji. And then it shifted after a certain point, and then it was Carrie and Zoe and Tamala Jones.
Tamala.
Tamala used to walk at her and Melinda Williams and Bianca. come down to me and Bianca, right? And she was just booking everything. It was like one of those people that you see walking in audition and you're, why did I sit on the 405 for this? She's good. And I remember I was auditioning and I was testing for a pilot on UPN. Google the network; it no longer exists. But it was between me and another girl. Well, she's known, Bianca Lawson. She ended up getting the job, and my manager was like, why? Is there anything that we can give her to work on for the next gig? And they're like, no, Bianca's just prettier.
Damn.
Okay. So Gabrielle dealt with some really harsh rejection in her career, and as she got older, she still had to compete. She had to compete to be number one. And there was a point where she was even competing with Kerry Washington. Now, Kerry Washington was acting and putting in the work for a long time before she snagged the role of Olivia Pope in the hit TV show Scandal. Now, this was actually a role that Gabrielle herself really wanted.
No, girl.
And there were other actresses like Taraji P. Henson who wanted the role as well.
Absolutely not Taraji.
It was the first time a black actress was starring in a major primetime show. And it was a big, big deal because there weren't a lot of opportunities like that for actresses back then. It was a highly coveted role, and Gabrielle wanted it, but she didn't get it. And she also lost her Neutrogena deal to Kerry Washington.
I think my first big endorsement opportunity was Neutrogena. Every year they kept renewing my contract, and I just started taking it for granted. Like, I am this. And then they were like, and that's enough for you. Meet Kerry Washington. And I was like, oh, whoa. And by then it was like, the talk was brands. So what does that mean if I've lost my brand? What happens now when you've been replaced?
I mean, these are very understandable insecurities.
Am I worthless?
Even though Gabrielle had her share of losses, she also had her wins as well, and she was able to be a part of movies like Bring It On, Bad Boys 2, Think Like a Man, Deliver Us from Eva, and she even starred in her own TV show, Being Mary Jane. But even with her wins, she still dealt with some insecurities. She still had to struggle to compete for some roles, and it manifested itself into some ugly ways. In fact, Gabrielle became a mean girl. So she would have her feuds and rifts with different people in Hollywood. For example, Jada Pinkett Smith. For a long time, there was a silent beef between her and Jada, and there were some people who speculated that the beef was because Gabrielle was messing with Jada's husband, Will Smith, possibly while they were filming Bad Boys 2. However, the real reason was they were in silent competition with each other, and when they heard one person didn't like them, they were like, well, girl, I don't like you either.
Neither one of us actually knows what originally took place back then, but the people that we had around us were like, well, you know how she feels about you.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you know how she feels about you. And then it was like, okay, girl, bye.
At some point in time, like neither of us remembers, we created a slight. Either I slighted her or she slighted me, or it was real or imagined. This is what Jada don't really mess with you like that. And you're like, really? What? I missed that.
And then
Jada's
like,
face
well, I don't mess
was
with
a
her
lot
either.
different.
And then 17
but
years go by.
Gabrielle
What was y'all
looks the
issue?
same.
We don't know.
No shade.
It's just, just some young girl crap. Real talk. Just young girl, so me just wanting to be the flyest in the room.
Okay.
Gab wanted to be the flyest in the room.
Okay.
And no, I'm not sharing Q.
She's not sharing.
and that's just as simple and as basic as that. And then you allow other people to get in your ear about petty crap. And then it just got into a whole place where it was just like, all right, well, I'm not dealing with her. And she was like, I'm not dealing with her.
Gabrielle also had a riff with LL Cool J and even Sanaa Lathan. And her riff with Sanaa wasn't her fault, by the way, but the situation she had going on with LL was kind of her fault because, once again, that competitive energy rose up, her ego rose up, and it created some tension.
Well, I felt like I needed a do-over from Love and Basketball.
Yeah.
Me and Boris were like newcomers, and we were like, nobody talked to us.
Wow.
Yeah. Me and Sanaa, we became friends. I was doing Bad Boys 2 in Miami, and she was shooting at a time, and we were staying at the same hotel. But after Love and Basketball, I'm like, I don't mess with you. Like, I'm like, I needed to see all I needed to see.
Oh, wow.
And so she was like, no.
We're friends now.
Yeah. So after a couple cocktails at this L&L, we've been BFFs ever since.
That's gangster, though.
I was feeling myself, right? We all were kind of testing the waters of our ego and our pride.
They got big ass
LL hadn't done a
hands.
ton, so he's still a little insecure about acting, transitioning from music. And we got into an argument about something, like just a debate, back and forth in the trailer. I wouldn't let it go. Neither would he. I'm not even thinking about time. I need to be right in this moment. And we go on, we carry on, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes, right? But like at that moment, I needed him to concede and me to be right and to own my rightful place as number one on the call sheet, right about everything. And then the end of the day comes, and I overhear this crew member say, I'm not gonna make my daughter's game. Oh. And I was like, and it all hit me. We're all connected. and I never want to be the reason somebody doesn't get home to their family.
So these were just a few examples of some of Gabrielle's riffs. And over the years, she had to learn some hard lessons, and she had to evolve and grow from certain things. And I do believe Gabrielle has made a lot of strides to grow, and she's had a lot of people really help her along the way. But that competitiveness that she has still kind of lingers on. And I know I kind of went off topic, going from talking about her doing 50-50 with her husband to her experiences in Hollywood.
But you're trying to make this reach connect.
And just a broader backstory to kind of support my initial point about her competitiveness.
But everybody is competitive. Literally everybody in the entertainment industry. This is not just specific to her. Literally every actor, every singer. Why do you think they got these verses and shit? How many times have you heard rappers talk about how I'm better than you, I'm gonna sell more than you, and I kill you in the verses? Everybody is competitive. So I don't understand why this is being brought up like, oh, this is a Gabrielle problem. Look, I proved this because look, she too competitive. Everybody is competitive. You have to be. This industry is super cutthroat.
Yeah, it's a little all over the place, but anyway, tell what y'all think about
Girl, bye. I don't know. I don't like her perspective on this situation. And I mean, just because I enjoy her videos, I don't expect to always agree with her. We are all very different people out here in the world. So I respect her stance, you know. So it's nothing wrong with her having a different opinion. It is what it is. We all have different perspectives on a lot of different shit. So I will start off by saying that. But I don't care for when women put down other women for the way that they choose to operate in their relationship. I just feel like when women put other women down because they want to contribute financially, it kind of seems like it's coming from like a bum bitch mentality. Like you feel insecure because you're being a bum in your relationship and you're not contributing at all. So you want to put other women down for what they're doing because you want to feel better about yourself. Because otherwise, why are you commenting on it? If you're happy in your princess, you know, position and not having to do shit, sprinkle, then you shouldn't even be opening your mouth worried about what the fuck somebody else doing in their relationship when it doesn't affect you. I'm not referring to Impressive specifically because this is her fucking job. She gets paid to give her opinion. So I totally understand that. I relate to that. I get why she's speaking on it. I'm talking about people who are like randomly in comments and like, oh, why you paying for shit? Oh, your man must be a beta. He must be. I'm talking about those particular women. It's like you're clearly a bum and you feel bad about not doing shit because why the fuck do you care? Why are you speaking on it when you don't know the details of their situation? Or on the flip side, it could be because you want that princess treatment and nobody's giving it to you. So you're projecting your anger and just talking shit. Now, because when I do get a man, we'll see when, then he gonna have to take care of everything. We'll see if he actually does that. You know, so I feel like it just comes from one of those two places and it's just really weird. And the point that I was going to make that I have to write down to remember, but I remember, is that I feel like a lot of women make that comment like, oh, why are you contributing to the relationship? He should be paying all the bills. You are coming from a scarcity mindset and you're coming from a place, no shade, but your rent is probably fucking crumbs. So it will be nothing for your boyfriend to pay rent for both of y'all. But when we're talking about these celebrities who have a lot of money, their fucking mortgage is high as shit. So it's nothing for your boyfriend to pay a couple thousand to cover rent. But when your rent gets really high, that is a fucking different conversation. And you don't understand that. And it's like, oh, well, him paying all that is a lot. I will tell my business in this particular situation. I really don't want to because I fucking hate people on the internet. Like I said, I like to throw shit back in your face. But I have paid 50-50 in a relationship for sure. And when I was with one of my exes, we were at an apartment where our rent was $8,000 a month. It would not have been realistic for me to expect for this nigga to pay $8,000 a month in rent and I don't contribute at all. And I'm just sitting back collecting all my checks, but oh, you got a dick, so you got to pay everything. Take care of this. What? How is that fair? But of course, when we were in fucking, you know, a different state, we were in Texas at one point, our rent was fucking crumbs. It was like $1,200 or something crazy cheap. He paid all the rent for that apartment because it was so low. But when we came back to LA, different fucking story. I'm not going to expect you to pay all that money. So it's like when you're commenting on situations like this, it's like you're not even considering the specific details. You can't relate. Shut the fuck up. So I hate when, you know, I see women in comments and just, but why ain't he paying for everything? Bitch, because their bills are high as shit. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, I think it's really selfish to sit back and be like, I'm just gonna collect all my coin. You take care of everything. Like, no. And just a side note on me telling my business, I understand $8,000 a month is a crazy amount to pay in rent. I get that. But just keep in mind, you don't know the specifics of people's financial situation. You don't know how much money is coming in. You don't know. And I know it's, oh, you can buy a house. Not everybody fucking wants a house. You don't know the details of how people choose to live their lives. Just... it just makes a lot of sense to just worry about your own situation when you don't have all the pieces. That's why I don't even like sharing certain stuff, to be honest, because it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just based on this little information, you don't know what you're talking about. I manage my money very fucking well. And just know that whatever I'm paying in rent, I'm contributing way more money into my investment accounts, into shit that matters, that's going to make me way more money. So let's be clear. I've always been very good about managing my money. So I will throw that out there. But anyway, yeah, I can't stand when people, you know, are negative and commenting on, you know, women and how they should be moving and how they should be operating their relationship financially and who should pay this on dates. I just think that shit is so fucking weird. It's just, it's lame. Worry about yourself and your own relationship and your own shit. You cannot make these comments about what someone should be doing when you don't know the details of their relationship. You don't know. So why are you saying what they should be doing? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, Gabby, keep doing what you're doing. But girl, shut the hell up telling your business. Because this is what people do. They start to speculate and reach and draw these conclusions of what you said in your book and da-da-da. You make yourself look bad. You make your marriage look bad. Girls, just keep the shit to yourself. Nobody asked for this. Goddamn. Anyway, that's my rant. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.